Louise Bennett-Coverley, affectionately known as Miss Lou, was far more than a cultural icon. She was a living embodiment of Jamaican identity and resilience. As a poet, folklorist, actress, writer, and educator, Miss Lou used her voice to elevate Jamaican patois and give dignity to the everyday life of her people. But beyond her literary and cultural legacy, what was her personal life like? What did she own? Let's take a closer look at the remarkable lifestyle of Miss Lou in today's episode. But before we embark, subscribe to our channel, All Profiles, so you won't miss any intriguing information about your idols. Louise Bennett's net worth remains a mystery to many, but according to some sources, at the time of her death in 2006, she had amassed a fortune of around $1 million. Louise Simone Bennett-Coverley was born on September 7, 1919, in Kingston, Jamaica, to Augustus Cornelius Bennett, a baker, and Karine Robinson, a seamstress. Her early years were characterized by modest circumstances and significant loss. After her father's death in 1926, her mother became her main caregiver, instilling a resilience that would shape her future. As a young girl of about 7, Louise entertained the women in her mother's sewing room with her jokes and stories, showcasing a natural talent for storytelling that would become her signature. Her education was pivotal in nurturing her passion for Jamaican folklore. She attended Ebenezer and Calabar primary schools, Street Simons College, and Excelsior College, before continuing her studies at Friends College in Highgate. It was there that she immersed herself in Jamaica's rich oral traditions, gathering tales and songs that would later inspire her creative work. By the age of 14, she wrote her first poem in Jamaican Patois, a daring move at a time when standard English was the norm in literary circles. This early challenge to convention demonstrated her dedication to celebrating Jamaica's true voice. In the early 1940s, Miss Lou's career started to flourish. In 1943, her poetry was published in The Sunday Gleaner, marking a significant achievement that introduced her work to a broader audience. In that same year, she took part in her first pantomime, Soliday Anthe Wicked Bird, and enrolled at Friends College to further her studies in folklore. Her exceptional talent earned her a British Council scholarship in 1945, making her the first black student to attend the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art RADA in London. At RADA, she honed her performance skills, laying the foundation for a career that would reach across continents. While in London, she hosted the BBC radio show Caribbean Carnival from 1945 to 1946, introducing Caribbean culture to British listeners. After graduating, she performed with repertory companies in Coventry, Huddersfield, and Amersham, and appeared in various revues throughout Britain. However, Jamaica beckoned her back in 1947. Upon returning home, she faced financial difficulties but remained steadfast, continuing to write and perform. In 1950, she went back to England to host another BBC program, West Indian Night, solidifying her role as a cultural ambassador. By 1953, she had relocated to New York, where she performed Jamaican folk songs on the radio, on stage, and in the lively Greenwich Village scene. Between 1956 and 1959, she worked as a drama officer for the Jamaica Social Welfare Commission, touring the island to give lectures and gather folklore. Her efforts preserved Jamaica's oral traditions and encouraged communities to celebrate their heritage. She later became the Commission's director from 1959 to 1963, further enhancing her influence. During this time, her career thrived as she taught drama at the University of the West Indies, performed in pantomimes, and wrote plays, often collaborating with fellow Jamaican Ranny Williams. Miss Lou's impact extended to radio and television. From 1965 to 1982, she produced Miss Lou's Views, a series of radio monologues that captured the humor and wisdom of Jamaican life. By 1970, she launched Ring Ding, a children's television program that ran until 1982 based on her belief that children should learn about their heritage. Ring Ding encouraged children from across Jamaica to showcase their talents, fostering pride in their culture. Her literary contributions were equally significant. Writing in Jamaican Patois, Miss Lou authored numerous books and poems, elevating the language to a national status. Her work inspired poets like Mutabaruka, Linton Kwesi Johnson, and Yasser Safari, who embraced Patois as a literary medium following her example. She released recordings that included Jamaican folk songs, children's songs, and games from Jamaica, and the Honorable Miss Lou, helping to preserve the nation's musical heritage. Her influence extended worldwide when she introduced Harry Belafonte to the Jamaican folk song Hill and Gully Rider, which inspired his 1956 hit Day O the Banana Boat song. All right, now let's move to another interesting part of today's video, taking a tour of Louise Bennett's homes. Previously, she resided in Gordontown Street, Andrew, a serene community nestled at the foot of the Blue Mountains. Her home there became a sanctuary where she penned many of her beloved poems. The house, nestled amidst the lush greenery of the Blue Mountains, exudes a rustic charm that reflects the traditional Jamaican countryside. Constructed primarily from dark wood, the exterior showcases intricate carvings and a wraparound veranda, offering panoramic views of the surrounding landscape. The garden, meticulously maintained, features a variety of native plants and flowers, creating a serene environment that complements the natural beauty of the area. Inside, the home is a reflection of Louise's vibrant personality and cultural heritage. The interior spaces are adorned with unique furniture pieces, many of which are handcrafted and feature traditional Jamaican designs. Walls are decorated with photographs, artwork, and memorabilia that chronicle her illustrious career and personal life. The living room, often described as the heart of the home, contains a collection of books, musical instruments, and recordings, indicating her lifelong dedication to the arts. Each room is thoughtfully arranged to create a warm and inviting atmosphere, making guests feel both inspired and at home. The amenities of the house, while modest, are functional and cater to a lifestyle centered around creativity and community. The kitchen, equipped with traditional cooking appliances, often served as a gathering place for friends and family, where stories were shared over home-cooked meals. In her later years, Louise Bennett-Coverley relocated to Toronto, Canada, where she spent the last decade of her life. Despite being far from her homeland, she remained deeply connected to the Jamaican diaspora and continued to promote Jamaican culture through her work. Her Toronto home was adorned with elements that celebrated Jamaican culture, such as traditional artwork, textiles, and memorabilia that highlighted her love for folklore and storytelling. Miss Lou's home was not just a place to live, but a sanctuary where she could continue her mission of preserving and promoting Jamaican traditions, even while living abroad. The exterior of her Toronto home would have been modest yet inviting, reflecting her down-to-earth nature and commitment to community. It may have included a garden or outdoor space where she could host gatherings or simply enjoy moments of tranquility. The house's location in Toronto allowed her to remain connected to the city's diverse cultural scene, providing her with opportunities to engage with the West Indian community and share her passion for the Jamaican language and traditions. Her home was a testament to her ability to create a sense of belonging and cultural pride, no matter where she was. On the other hand, Louise Bennett-Coverley was often associated with vehicles in the context of her public appearances and performances, rather than personal ownership. One notable instance was during a live broadcast of her radio series, Miss Lou's Views, on RJR, where she was driven in a 1935 Austin 7 convertible while dressed in traditional folk attire, surrounded by an enthusiastic crowd. This event highlighted her role in bringing Jamaican culture to the forefront, using the vehicle as a stage to connect with the public. What's more, photographs from the National Library of Jamaica depict Miss Lou standing beside a car, capturing moments from her everyday life. The car in this image appears to be a 1960s Austin 1100, also known as the Morris 1100 or BMC AD016, a compact British car produced by the British Motor Corporation BMC. These models were popular throughout the 1960s and early 1970s, especially in Commonwealth countries like Jamaica. On the outside, the Austin 1100 had a clean, boxy silhouette softened by gentle curves around the edges, giving it a modest yet elegant appeal. Its wide front grille, round headlights, and chroma details. Compact in size, the car was ideal for narrow roads and urban driving, while the relatively tall roofline provided ample headroom. Inside, the Austin 1100 embraced simplicity with a practical and functional dashboard layout, typically featuring centrally mounted gauges and minimalistic switches. The seats were upright but comfortable, upholstered in vinyl or cloth depending on the trim level. One of the most praised aspects of the car was its hydroelastic suspension system, a pioneering design that delivered an exceptionally smooth ride by linking the front and rear suspension units via fluid-filled lines. This made the Austin 1100 stand out in its class, as it provided comfort and road-holding capabilities that were rare in compact cars of the time. In terms of her personal life, Louise Bennett-Coverley, apart from her celebrated public persona, enjoyed a rich and enduring partnership with her husband, Eric Winston Coverley, also known in the entertainment world as Chalk Talk. Their story began during Louise's teenage years when she performed at a school event At just 17, she caught the attention of Eric, who was actively seeking emerging local performers. Their bond, founded on a mutual passion for Jamaican heritage, theatre, and storytelling, blossomed into a lifelong connection. This shared devotion to culture and the arts resulted in their marriage on May 30, 1954 at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Harlem, New York. Eric was a constant source of strength, encouragement, and thoughtful feedback throughout Louise's illustrious career. He remained by her side as her most dedicated supporter until his passing in August 2002 at the age of 91. Together, they created a loving and inclusive family environment. They had a biological son, Fabian Coverley, and several adopted daughters into their lives, Christine, Althea, Odette, and Simone, nurturing a household grounded in love, creativity, and cultural pride. Louise Bennett-Coverley was renowned for her nurturing kindness and generosity. Her affectionate nickname, Mama Lou, was not merely a stage name but truly embodied her genuine care and devotion to those she cherished. On July 26, 2006, she passed away at the age of 86 after collapsing at her home. She died at Scarborough Grace Hospital in Toronto. Although the exact cause of her death was not disclosed to the public, her passing deeply affected both the Jamaican diaspora and her homeland. A memorial service took place in Toronto on August 3, 2006, gathering admirers from diverse backgrounds. Her body was subsequently flown to Jamaica, where a public viewing was held at the National Arena on August 7 and 8. Thousands came to honor the woman who had celebrated their culture through poetry, performance, and education. On August 9, 2006, a formal state funeral was conducted at Coke Methodist Church in Kingston. Louise Bennett-Coverley was then laid to rest in National Heroes Park beside her husband, in a spot reserved for the most revered figures in Jamaican history. The ceremony was filled with national pride, with then Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller praising Miss Lou as a role model and mentor. The Prime Minister's final tribute, wishing her a good walk, echoed a traditional Jamaican farewell, perfectly suited for a woman who had stood tall in her mission to preserve and promote the richness of Jamaican culture and language. Nearly 20 years after her passing, the legacy of Louise Bennett-Coverley, fondly known as Miss Lou, continues to flourish through the voices she inspired. Beyond being a poet, folklorist, and performer, Miss Lou was Jamaica's cultural matriarch, advocating for the significance of Jamaican Creole and showcasing her country's rich heritage to the world. In 2007, a year following her death, a dedicated group of Jamaicans in South Florida founded the Louise Bennett-Coverley Heritage Council, LBCC. This nonprofit organization emerged from a deep love and respect for Miss Lou's relentless efforts to preserve and celebrate Jamaican language and culture. The LBCC has since become a vital force in cultural advocacy, offering educational programs, hosting performances, and organizing events that embody the vibrancy of Jamaican traditions. Through its diverse initiatives, the Council honors Miss Lou's mission by supporting the next generation of artists and cultural leaders. Funds raised from its cultural activities contribute to scholarships for students passionate about the arts, ensuring that Miss Lou's legacy continues to nurture young talents for the future. One of the most impactful scholarship initiatives provides students from the Louise Bennett-Coverley all-age school in Gordontown, St. Andrew, the chance to attend Excelsior High School, the same institution that played a significant role in shaping Miss Lou's formative years. The Louise Bennett-Coverley Council, LBCC, has also extended its educational outreach well beyond Jamaica. Scholarships have been granted not only to students at the Edna Manley College of the Performing and Visual Arts, Jamaica's leading arts academy, but also to young people in Broward County, Florida, a hub for the Jamaican American community. The LBCC's commitment to education goes even further, understanding the growing need for digital tools and remote access. The Council has donated tablets and school supplies to disadvantaged children throughout Jamaica, continuing Miss Lou's legacy of promoting learning and empowerment. As Dr. Basil Bryan, former Jamaican Consul General, aptly noted, Bennett was a bold trailblazer who proudly introduced the Jamaican language and culture to the wider world, a move that has left a lasting legacy for the people of Jamaica. We are the beneficiaries of that audacity, he noted, recognizing her courage to celebrate Jamaican Creole, also known as PWA, at a time when it was often dismissed as improper or unsophisticated. Miss Lou's pioneering contributions to poetry and performance elevated the status of Jamaican Patois, earning it newfound respect. She wielded language as a potent medium for storytelling, education, and self-expression. Her talent in transforming local dialects into esteemed literary forms made her a national treasure, Beyond highlighting the language itself, she also spotlighted the speakers of that language. Much of her work unfolded in recognizable public venues like trams, schools, and churches, places where everyday Jamaicans gathered and lived. These accessible settings allowed readers and audiences to see themselves, particularly during the pivotal period surrounding Jamaica's independence in 1962. Louise Bennett gave a distinctive and powerful voice to working-class women whose stories were often neglected in post-colonial literature. She portrayed their challenges, resilience, humor, and cultural pride, positioning them as central figures in the Jamaican narrative. Through her performances and writings, Miss Lou reshaped how Jamaicans perceived themselves and how the world viewed Jamaica. Her cultural impact has gained international recognition. On September 7, 2022, Google honored what would have been her 103rd birthday with a special Google Doodle, presenting her vibrant legacy to a global audience. The illustration reminded millions of her lively spirit, her colorful performances, and her profound connection to Jamaican identity. Beyond the accolades and recognition, significant efforts have been made to preserve her legacy through important archives. In 2011, the Bennett family donated an extensive collection of materials to McMaster University Library in Canada. This collection includes photographs, letters, awards, audiovisual recordings, and more, spanning from 1941 to 2008. The aim was to digitize and make portions of this valuable collection accessible online for researchers, students, and fans worldwide. This dedication to preservation also inspired the establishment of the Miss Lou Archive, launched in October 2016. Located at the National Library of Jamaica, the archive contains a wealth of previously unpublished materials, such as personal diaries, audio recordings, photographs, and letters. Miss Lou herself arranged for these items to be donated as she prepared to move to Canada, ensuring her life's work would continue to educate and inspire future generations. Today, scholars, performers, and cultural advocates continue to study and celebrate the work of Louise Bennett-Coverley. Although her passing is a deep loss, her legacy endures through her words and the lives she influenced. Last but not least, what do you think about Louise Bennett's lifestyle? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for today's video. We appreciate you spending your time with us. If you love learning about famous figures, make sure to subscribe to our channel All Profiles and ring the notification bell. See you in the next one.